Winter is here. I know what I must do. What was that? Must just be the wind. Yo, what's happening? Welcome to another Skyrim Meads and Meals. Today I'm going to be going ahead and making the Black-Briar mead. If you missed the last one where I made the honey brew mead, go ahead and check that out. I'll have a playlist link and you can see that one. So this time I'm going to be doing it a little different. I'm going to be using one of my 3-gallon carboys because I realized I don't have another lid for my Mr. Beer Fermenter, my other Mr. Beer Fermenter. The first one, the honey brew mead, is fermenting away. Looks pretty good. I forgot to check the original gravity, so we're not going to have an exact alcohol content on it, but I'm thinking we're going to do these early, so they're probably going to be around 5%, 4 or 5%. Not going to get to that max, like 10, 11, where it should be. But anyways, let's get right into making some mead. First thing first, I'm going to go ahead and get 4 cups of water boiling right off the rip. This cup is a 2-cup measuring cup here, so hopefully I got a big enough pot here. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Trouble is going to be pouring it into the carboy. There it is too. It just about fits. Next up, I'm going to add the honey into the carboy here. There's my cup. So 2 cups of honey. I'm just going to fill this thing up. I'm honey mixing. This is Ohio honey though. I forgot my other honey at home, so we'll be doing some mixing. That's all right though. It'll be good. They're both local honeys, so that's that. I am gonna go ahead and put some water into these honeys and mix it up so that way I get the last little bit of it out, because it's just shy of 2 cups. I mean, it's close enough, but we'll get the last bit out of those 2 things. Water is boiling. I'm going to shut that down and kind of let it chill for a second here. I don't want to pour like super hot water into my carboy. Maybe I'll add a little bit of water to the carboy first, so that way it's not just straight up hot water going in there. Nothing to cool it down. All right, honey going into carboy. Oh, shizbutts. I did it again. What the fudge? I can't tell actually. Is that on the inside or the outside? I'm sure that's on the outside, dripping down. Alright, so there you have it. Honey in carboy. Alright, so I'm pouring just a little bit of water in here. Actually, I'm going to use the measuring cup. I'll pour like a cup of water in here to kind of make a little buffer so it cools down the hot water going in. We still want it to be hot, just not too hot to where it's gonna cause some problems here. I should be able to shake this thing up pretty good too. Getting a little more honey out of it still. Alright, so I'm gonna add the hot water in now. See how this goes. I don't think it's gonna go well. Nope. Really bad. I don't know how they expect you to pour that water in there from a pot into the carboy. Pretty much impossible to do this without making a mess. Yep, that's fudged. I basically just poured hot water on my phone. Oh, good God. What am I even doing? What am I even doing? Did I get any of it in there? I'm gonna swirl it around and see if it kind of dilutes that, you know, mixes up that honey a little bit in there. I think it's working somewhat. Try and get a little more hot water. Can I do it? There we go. Sort of getting it. I got a little bit in there. Oh jeez. Mainly spilled it all over. But it's enough in there. It's hot enough. It's getting that honey mixed with the water. I think that my method honestly still is better. I'm doing it in that big fermenter usually too, so it's easier to pour any liquids into it. It's really hard to pour anything into one of these carboys, to be honest. I like either the Mr. Beer fermenter or I like my big 6-gallon fermenter a lot better. And I think it's just as good making your pot of hot water and pouring your honey right into that. I think that works even better, honestly. But now for this, I'm gonna put some water into these honey things here. We want to stay at half a gallon because these are half-gallon batches. So pour a little water in that. Give it a good shake. See, I mean, that works pretty well too. Look at how mixed in that honey is with that water there. Just putting cold water and giving it a good shake works. But you can't really do that in these. That's where the problem comes in. More honey and water. More honey and water. Right on, right on. And now, just gonna top it off a little bit with a little more water. Just to get it to that half-gallon point. A touch more. And that should just about do it. Swirl it up a little more. Yeah, that is pretty well mixed. There's no like big clumps of honey on the bottom. I think we're pretty well good there. So next up, I've got a sanitized bowl here, and I've got my blackberries. Okay, now I have my rinsed off blackberries. They're gonna go into the bowl. That is 6 ounces, is what the recipe calls for. And what I've got here is a sanitized cup because they want these kind of mashed. So we're gonna mash them on up. Get them juices flowing, get them kind of squishy. I didn't think about how I'm gonna add these in now. Careful not to get this on anything because I'm sure this would stain really bad. Alright, so that looks about mashed enough. We got juices running, it's all squished up. Now to get this into the carboy. See if I can finagle it in there. The juices, pour the juices. That's working. That's going in and not out, yep. Just want to double check. I'm gonna grab something that's not white here. Maybe because like I usually put the fruit in kind of whole. Maybe that would have been okay to do here. But I'm trying to follow the recipe as it says. Which is not turning out easy, especially with the equipment that I'm working with. If I would have made them bigger batches, probably would have been better. What I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna do, whichever one I like the best, probably gonna make a big batch of that. But for now, small batches to test it out. Yeah, because I mean I could easily do this in my 6-gallon fermenter. I need a lot more blackberry for sure though. This is going to give it a nice color too. I'm excited to see how this color turns out with this one. I'm going to give it like a nice deep purple, I'm thinking. Gonna swirl it on up here. Get that mixed in. Oh yeah, look at how nice that's looking. I don't know how well you can tell on camera, but it's getting kind of a dark reddish tinge. Heck yeah. I'm liking it. This I'm curious about. I don't even know what a rose hip is. I don't know if I was supposed to buy whole rose hips. But I did. So hopefully that's going to be alright because it says 2 tablespoons. So, depending on what these look like, if they weren't supposed to be whole, then I may have a problem in measuring, but we'll figure it out. I'm sure it'll turn out alright in the end. Another thing, you have to buy these online. You can only buy them big, which I don't even know how much of this I'm going to use after this is done even. Okay, so if we're doing it by the measure here, that'd be one. Actually kind of a heaping one. I mean, it does just say 2 tablespoons dried rose hips, so I was assuming whole rose hips. I didn't know what they were like. And that's 2. Hopefully that's not too much. Hopefully that's the right amount. These kind of just smell like raisins. It's like dried fruit, basically. Alrighty, and then... Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. We got ground cloves going in there. Half a teaspoon of ground clove. Okay, the lid comes off. That's good. That's too much. That's just about it. We'll do that. Not too shabby. It's gonna be a spicy one. I don't know what a rose hip tastes like. I wonder, can you just eat those? Either eat the dried ones, or can you just eat the, you know, fresh ones even? 1 cinnamon stick. Bam. And a dash of salt. That is it. Just gonna give that a good swirl. You can hear all those dried ingredients like rattling around in there. Interesting color on that. That's gonna be neat. Nice. It's kind of neat. And half a pack of yeast going on in. Good old Lavlin D47. Just pour it on in, is what they say. I usually like to do some, you know, warm water, get it activated. But we follow along. Get that shook up in there. Get that last little bit of oxygen in there for them. So that way they can thrive and reproduce and whatnot. I'm actually going to cap it off and give it a really good shake. Nice. That'll do it. There we go. Airlock in. Cap on, and it's ready to go away for 2 weeks. Alrighty, well there you have it. Black-Briar mead is away and ready to start fermenting. So join me next week where I'll be trying the honey brew mead and making a dish from Skyrim. Stay tuned to see what that's going to be. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. Turn on the notifications and subscribe if you're not already, so that way you don't miss out on any future videos. All of that good stuff. Thank you guys again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.